Yes. Notes data itu punya mana?
for the we have station. It's the kind of thing. Hopefully, it's conversation, but at the same unless challenge associated with the years of experience guide us in the stress and relief manner, providing valuable insight into the area. Stress, creativity, digital research, and the book. However, last session will be the in itself, assistant professor at agriculture engineering at Dr. Summer explain the session we add significant value for agriculture and science. I guess Dr. to coordinate the ceremony. Exactly.
संजय कुमार कौर ने वेलकम यू सर
Before starting the session, please first explore what the center of clothing is. What the center of clothing form discovery from the state. The computer graduation is the subject of the post graduation the subject of some communication done. Most commonly, education agriculture economy agriculture during the last years of study, research and exploration, we have more commonalities chemistry, ceramic, law, actually, working as a teacher of the modeling and of the music. We are very active he has a very good part. Even years in the the subject, specialization in agriculture is it for both on their accuracy. He has taught commercialization and the code for both ages. And so, they are very proud to be how
Good morning. Just my adopted I just That's the first basically innovations keep of production as well as ability. The word with knowledge into value with right skills. In this context, various issues of generation of intelligence software become critically important all over the survey industrialization was growth in the world industry and then the issue of India or the application of the science or policy considerably further. But what happened in the Second World War? Second World War, there was economic recession. Due to economic recession, immediately they were trying to make their own economy. And due to that, the world trade was hampered. And the, after the 1930s, 40s, various countries thought that how long this situation will continue. We should stop somewhere and world trade should be, we should do some boost to the world trade. So, so the imports, the 23 countries that participated together in NSC round in France, they conducted one meeting. They thought that we should start the deliberations and there was general agreement how the tariff can be reduced. So that the general agreement on tariff and price that it was right. Right. There were various rounds. Actually, around 50, there was one attempt to establish an IDO, International Trade Organization. But that proposal of that idea was not ratified by the US government. And that attempt failed. And later on, it took about more 45 years to and 8 rounds of the GATT. And in the last round, Uruguay round, we know that the WTO is established. So WTO was established on 1st January 1995. And in WTO, there were more than 20 agreements. And out of that 20 agreements, 2 agreements are important as far as this topic is concerned. These are one is agreement on agriculture and another is free trade. So the TRIPS stands for the trade related intellectual property rights. And as per the TRIPS agreement, it was agreed by the member countries or participating countries to make the changes or the required changes in accordance with the TRIPS agreement. And accordingly, there was time period for the implementation of TRIPS agreement was 10 years. From 1st January 1993 to 31st December 2004. So within this 10 years, all the countries they have to make their changes in their laws, and we as India we have enacted all the laws regarding the intellectual property rights within that 10 years, and the out of that, it was one of the law. It was regarding the protection of plant variety and farmers' right Act 2001. Actually, in some of the countries, the plant variety production is kept or is maintained under the patent. But there was provision that we have this 2 generations. So the protection of plant varieties and actually this regarding this IPR, we know that what is intellectual property. Intellectual property is the property emanated from the human intellect. It is a intangible creation of human being or human mind using express and translated in tangible form so that we can assign some property kind of anything, book, article, design, logo, or any product process, patents, also they are on the in IPR. So if the intellectual property is not protected, not registered, we cannot oppose, we cannot take any action against infringement. So to provide, to protect, to prohibit the infringement, intellectual property rights is necessary. IPR is nothing but it is a right given to the people over creation of their mind. They usually give the creator an exclusive right to utilize his own creations for personal right. IPR is broadly classified into two types. Those IPR which stimulate in inventive and creative activities. Another type of IPR that is reduce information to control. The first category that is which stimulates the inventive and creative activities are patterns, utility models, industrial designs, copyright, plant models, layout designs, integrated circuit, and another is information to service. So these are the forms of IPR. Patents, copyrights, trademarks, industrial designs, production of integrated circuits, layout design, GI, that is geographical indications of goods, biological diversity, plant varieties and farmer, and undisclosed information. There were some early attempts in the IPR. In February 20th, 1956, the government of India promulgated some legislation to grant the exclusive privilege to encourage the innovations of new manufacturing. So, accordingly, in this was that George Alfred Tiffany was the first person in India to make an application for patent in India. And on the 7th, on the 3rd March, this George Alfred Tiffany was a civil engineer and he was granted an exclusive privilege for his invention that is efficient for composing machine. And this was the first pure IP activity. Then, as I said, there were three segments, there were some provisions, and there are some provisions were regarding the standards. What kind of minimum standards to be provided or by each of the members? What subject matter should be protected? Then some exceptions or some permissible limits are given. How much limit should be? What should be duration for the protection of each of IPR? There were some standards, some guidelines for the standard. In enforcement, how this IPR or how this various IPR can be enforced. So there were some set of provisions which can deal with the domestic provisions, remedies, the enforcement of the intellectual property right. Then some provisions on civil and civil procedures, remedies, then some remedies regarding border measures. So these were some of the provisions. Then there were some another provision was regarding the dispute settlement. Dispute settlement as per the WTO settlement. And one more and important provision was that the sui generis. That means those members they can exclude the plant and animals other than the microorganisms essential by the procedure for the production of plants and animals from the patent system. That means, as per the TRIPS agreement, it was a choice to the country that you can keep your varieties or the plant varieties under the patents, or you can develop your own system. That is sui generis system. Sui generis system means system of its own patent. That means considering our requirements, considering our limitations, opportunities, all these things, we can have our own system to cater our own needs. So we, as India, we have opted for the sui generis system. We have not kept the varieties under the patent. In some of the countries, varieties are granted under the patent. But we have the sui generis system. And under this system, we have enacted this Protection of Plant Varieties and Farmers Right Act 2001. So this 2001 Act, whatever we have implemented, it is in conformity with the UPO agreement. As UPO, it's that it is the international union for protection of new plant varieties. They develop various guidelines regarding the guidelines of the variety registration guidelines. And in conformity with the UPO guidelines, we have made some changes in our act, earlier state laws, and we have enacted this PPFRA Act 2001. This Indian legislation is not only in conformity with the ECO 1978, but it is sufficient to it there are some broader provisions, sufficient provisions to protect the interest of the public as well as private sectors, breeding institutions, and farmers. So this is the protection of plant variety and farmer variety 2001. Then, as in this act, there are 11 chapters. PPFR authority is registration of plant varieties and essentially derived varieties, regulation and effect of registration benefit sharing, then chapter 5, that is surrender and revocation certificates, rectification and correction register, then farmers' rights, compulsory license, plant varieties, protection, athlete tribunal, finance accounts audit, infringement of license penalties, provision, and disclaimer. These are the broad chapters in this act. There is a authority, PPV and a authority. There is a body which is responsible for the implementation of this act in India. This body consists of about 15 members. There is a chairperson. Chairperson is the chief executive, and beside the chairperson, there are 15 members. Right now, Dr. Pilochan Mahabatra is a chairperson for the PPFRA authority. He was earlier Director General of ICR. And later on, he has accepted this responsibility as a chairperson of PPFR authority. Then there are eight ex-official members of various departments. That means by default, there are members as they are in the position. Then the three members from the ACU, the state government, the state. And one representative from farmers, tribal organizations, seed industry, women organizations, nominated by the central government. Like Registrar General, he is the key person. He is ex-official member secretary, ex-officio member secretary of the authority. Right now, Dr. Dinesh Kumar Agarwal, he is a Registrar General of this authority. So this is the composition of this authority. Then objective. The objectives, as I said, in addition to the eco agreement and the TRIPS guidelines, we have made this act very broad in nature. To establish an effective system for protection of plant varieties and right of the farmers, plant breeders, and encourage the development of new plant varieties. So here we protect the interest of the farmer, protect the interest of the rights of the farmers, rights of the plant breeders, and we encourage the development of new plant varieties. Then to recognize the rights of the farmers in respect of their contributions made at a time, conserving, improving, and making available the genetic resource and development of the new plant variety. Right now, whatever the varieties we have developed, whatever varieties we are registered, we observe that so many of the varieties, genetic material is sponsored by the farmer, and their rights, their efforts has to be rewarded. For that purpose, it is the provision is there. Right? To accelerate the agriculture development of the country, protect the rights of the farm breeders, stimulate the investment in research and development, both in public as well as private sector, for the development of new plant varieties. So this third objective is related to growth. Growth of the seed industry, growth of the plant varieties, growth in the research and development. And the last objective is to facilitate the seed industry in the country, which will ensure the availability of high quality seed and planting material to the farmer. So these are the four objectives with which this PPFR authority works, and this PPFRA Act is implemented. Then there are some general provisions of the PPFRA. First is registration of new plant varieties essentially derived varieties and extant varieties. That means registration is the first purpose. Then development of trust guidelines. Then thus is vigorous, distinctiveness, uniformity, and stability. These guidelines for the new plant variety. Then the development of characterization and documentation of the registered varieties and compulsory cataloging of all plant varieties. So these are the small functions: registration, thus development of thus guidelines, characterization, and cataloging. Then documentation and indexing of cataloging of farmers variety. In addition to the breeders variety, we also catalog the farmers variety. They recognize the rewarding the farmers, community of the farmers, particularly tribal rural community engaged in conservation, improvement, preservation of plant genetic resources and economic plants and their wild relatives, and maintenance of national register of plant varieties, as well as maintenance of national gene bank. So these are some of the functions of the PPV and FRA authority. Then, which are the connections or linkages of this authority? ICR, Indian Council of Agriculture Research, then the seed industry, private seed industry, then the KVKs, Krishi Vigyan Kendras, Farm Sciences, Network Center. ICR, it helps, it is wide network in the country to their center. They are involved in the registration of plant varieties. Then the seed industry, as they get the benefit from this, they avail the benefit of this PFR authority. KVKs and farmers cooperative organizations, NGOs, various NGOs, they protect the farmers' varieties, all way from the farmers, they work on farmers. Then the biodiversity international. Whenever we want to register a variety, we need the biodiversity approval. So this biodiversity international is one of the agency. And as per the biodiversity international, there is NBA, that is National Biodiversity Authority. Then the consultative group of international agriculture research institutes that is also involved or related to this PPFR authority, and the state agriculture universities, various agriculture universities in the country. So these are some of the linkages in the related to this PPFR authority. The crops covered under the PPFR. The cereals, rice, wheat, maize, sorghum, barley, pulses, chickpea, mung-bean, urd-bean, field pea, rajmesh, lentil, pigeon pea, oilseed, that is mustard, walnut, soybean, sunflower, safflower, cactus, milk, fiber crops, cotton and jute, spices, turmeric, ginger, black pepper, coriander, small cardamom. Then fruit crops like mango, vegetables, flowers, medicinal plants, aromatic plants, plantation crops. These are the crops covered right now under the PPFI.
जे याच्या व्यतिरिक्त जे गोष्टी आहेत त्याचे या राईट्स क्लिनिक
Right now, actually, whenever we have to give some facility to the registration, we have to make sure that this particular variety is distinct or it follows certain criteria. So to identify or to decide whether that particular variety follows that particular criteria or not, for that purpose, we have to develop some guidelines. And this guidelines procedure is completed in this block. That's why right now we are facilitating in these blocks. And as this PPF authority, it works with the various agriculture universities as well as ICR centers, and as per the location specific areas, they develop the guidelines, and as the guidelines are developed, then they add the crop in the list. Yes. Thank you for the question. Then there are, as I said, guidelines. What are the criteria? The criteria for protecting plant varieties. novelty. That novelty is one of the criteria. That novelty is should be new. Like at the time of application, that variety should be unknown. It should be new. It should be novel. That's this thing. Variety should be clearly distinguishable by at least one essential characteristic of existing commonly known varieties in any country at the time of filing of application. So that means variety should be distinct. And variety must be uniform. Variety must be sufficiently uniform in its essential characteristics. Then variety should be stable. Those essential characteristics can be observed repeatedly. So that characters, there should be stability. Those characters should be exhibited by that particular plant. Yes.
So easily number of generations prescribed per crop.
Number of.
So I want to register a paddy variety. So do I need to say that this has been tried over 5 generations and the characteristics have been stable? Is there a fixed number? Three generations, 4 generations, 5 generations.
Yes, sir. The number of years is there.
Yes.
We will come to that. Then uniform criteria, uniformity. Variety should be uniform in its nature. That means when we grow a variety, there will be some off-types. Right? So these off-types may be some different some regions. There is growth habits. Sometimes plant doesn't exhibit the expected growth habit for a particular cultivar. Then sometimes the different serration pattern we observe other than the intended variety. The root and stem development may be different, may be differs from the inbred variety, but it needs root and stem development. Sometimes some pigmentation or coloring may be there. It is maybe different from the inbred variety. It is pigmentation. Leaf and stem pubescence. Sometimes the plant differ from the inbred variety in the leaf and stem pubescence. At least 7 year traits, this also may be different from the inbred variety. Seed color may be different. So for these are some of the reasons of the types of off-types. Then the general off-type permissibility if the sample is less than 5, 0 limit, 6 to 35, 1 can be permissible from 36 to 2 and 83 to 137 feet. So likewise, these are the general guidelines of the deciding the objects. If the objects are more than that, then variety cannot be considered that it is uniform. Right? Thus, test characterization. Then some qualitative characteristics are studied, like leaf color, texture, growth pattern, flower color, types. Next, in addition to the qualitative characteristics, there are some pseudo qualitative characteristics. That means that particular plant exhibits the qualitative character, but there is some little difference, little deviation from the original one. Sometimes shaping ovoid, elliptic, or circular or ovoid. Sometimes plant height may be different. Then some quantitative characteristics. These are quantitative characteristics are partly by development because we undertake the multi-locational bias. And under the multi-locational bias between the climate or the regions, we get the different bigger, different yield, and photosynthesis rate, protein content, dot volume, seed weight and size. These are the measurement criteria. That's why they are called quantitative criteria. Then there are some grouping characteristics. The grouping characteristics are most reliable and distinguishing and most reliable for distributing the particular variety from the other. That is, there are some biochemical characteristics like stabilization activity, chlorophyll levels, correlation between the traits. Two traits are studied and the correlation is found. the GCM is essential life levels, phenol level, carbonates level, antioxidants level, the terpenoids, alkaloids, then protein profile. So this biochemical characterization is also verified. Then the molecular characterization. Under the molecular characterization, AFP, that is amplified fragment polymerizer, then polymorphism, then the SNP single nucleotide polymorphism, then RNA analysis, the DNA barcoding. So these are the some of the different tests which are used, different characterization which is considered under the test. Then the first test, while conducting the first test, we also conduct some experimental designs like CRD, completely randomized design, then RCBD, randomized block design, then randomized incomplete block design. So as per the requirement, as per the sample size, we conduct these experiments. Right? Yes.
How stakes comes in the qualitative characteristics?
Which one?
Qualitative characteristics. Previous.
Sex. So in case of in some of the crop, there are you know, say like cocoa we get male female cow, male female babies. So it is a quality. It is considered qualitative character.
Yes. For example, leaf color we can understand.
See, we can measure the length. We can measure the length. Select leaf color texture growth. Similarly, that sex is a qualitative character.
Which sense? So leaf color should be texture we can understand, leaf color we can understand.
Then there are tests like frequency distribution histograms, then mean bias consideration, then COID, combined over year distinctive and COVY. These are some of the statistical tests that are for the deciding this whether these categories is variety distinct or not. Then that your question, like how many generations like for the new varieties, like two locations and two seasons. Then variety of common knowledge for the two locations and one season. Farmers variety, two locations and one season. And EDP, that it is generally it is yet to decide and it is considered case to case basis. Then the farmer, as per the act, farmer is a person who cultivates crop, cultivating land himself, or cultivates crop directly supervising cultivation land to any other person, or person who conserves, preserves, or severely or jointly with any other person or wild species, that is varieties, to the selection of and identification of useful properties. So such person we by act is considered farmer. In farmers' rights, farmers' variety traditionally cultivated evolved by the farmers in their field or wide relative land or rice variety about which farmer has common knowledge. And in addition to that, the farmers varieties which are they are exempted from the application of the social fee, and his application is no need to be accompanied with the fee that will not covered that by certificates like that. Like the farmer rights, farmer can sow, use, save, resow, or exchange marbles. Then the competition or the failure of expected performance of vegetable variety. Then sometimes there is a innocent increment in that case, also farmer has contribution. And there is exemption on payment of plus certificates. In addition to this, farmer has the same similar rights as they are for breeder. And the farmers who is engaged in the conservating genetic resources, as we discussed earlier, various land races, viabilities, economic plans, or the improvement in selection and preservation of these varieties. This gene fund provides uh, fund or they consider as donors for the gene of varieties. Farmers are entitled to save use the disease of scenario. The realization of the farmer variety. Number of types on the farmer variety shall not be exceed double than the number of types listed on the new variety. And the seed required is also half quantity than the biggest variety or the new variety. So this is the relation for the farmer's variety. Then the farmer's exemption, the researcher exemption. The researcher exemption, the use of ratio variety for conducting experiments. The researcher can use the earlier ratio variety for the research. Then the use of variety or as the initial source of variety for the purpose of creating new any other variety. Then the term of protection. Once we register a farmer variety or any breeder variety, how long that term exists? In case of trees and vines, term is 18 years, or other crops in 15 years, or extant varieties which are notified on the date, which are notified from that purpose also it is 15 years. 15 years from the date of notification. The term of registration in other cases like patents it is 20 years, trademark it is 10 years, copyright it is 60 years, GI it is 10 years, never it is 10 years. In case of farmers variety, we can say it is about 15 years. In case of trees and vines, 18 years. Why production of plant is required in India? That we already discussed. Because as per the tree settlement, some production we have to use the farmers. Then the criteria for deciding production of plant varieties. Then these are the 5 points. Already we have discussed all these points. That is clear distinct from other varieties. That is distinctness. Then the uniformity. The variation between individuals is must less than the places. The relevant characterization remains unchanged. That is stability. Then variety should be used. And denomination must be equal to variety identity. So denomination is one of the important thing in the variety registration. If a bidder use false denomination, face punishment. Then what is the variety? Variety is nothing but it is a plant grouping except microorganisms within a single botanical taxon with lowest known type. So this is the definition given by the Act. That means variety is defined by the expression of characteristics resulting from the given genotype of that plant grouping. Then the distinguished from any other plant groupings by expression at least one set characteristic. So variety means it is a group of the plant which share some definite set of characteristics and they are part of single species. That is variety. Then there are 4 types of variety: new variety, extant variety, farmer's variety, and EDP. That is essentially tailored variety. New variety is variety which is not in public domain in India. Earlier than the 1 year before date of filing or outside India. And in case of trees and vines, 6 years. And in case of any other things, it is 4 years. That means if a breeder develop variety and if you do not register for a year, then it becomes extant variety. So new varieties has definition. That means variety should be new. 1 year is 1 year within 1 year we have to file for the registration. In case of new varieties. The extant variety is in public domain. Notified as per the section 5 of the 1966 Act. if farmers variety also. Then variety which is common knowledge and is providing material from the external variety. Registration within 3 years. So this is the external variety. Then the essential derived varieties. Essential derived varieties are the varieties which are developed from the original one, and there is ideally it should be distinguishable from such initial variety, except on the differences where we have we mix what we are expected the derivation from the earlier varieties and such initial varieties the essential characteristic from zero combination of the variety. These are the EDVs. The rights of the owner of the variety to produce the protected variety, whatever the protected variety we have produced, protected, we can produce it, we can sell it, we can market that variety, the owner can distribute the variety, import can be made or export can be made. So these are the rights of the owner's right. In case of EDV, in case of variety being an EDV, when the EDV is derived from the protected variety, then authorization is required from the leader of that initial variety. Then infringement. Any of one of the following acts can be infringement. If you sell the variety which is not entitled to, or export it, import it, or we export it or import it, which is acceptably similar to the rest of variety. So in that case, such is that is infringement. Then acts which are not considered as an infringement. Use of the variety for research and experiment. Use of the variety for the research and experiment purpose. Use of the variety was the initial variety for the creation of new variety develop or development of new varieties. Then the repeated use of variety for commercial purpose of new varieties not allowed without authorization of federal registered variety. The release in case of infringement. Injection that means prohibition order can be given against the individual who has made this infringement. The plaintiff has option to claim for damages or share the profit from the agreement. So these are the provisions under the infringement. Then the other provision provided penalty for the selling of the varieties to which false denomination is applied. As I said, just now, the denomination whatever we are giving in the application should be correct. Then penalty for the falsely representing the variety register. It is punishable offense. So it is a penalty for subsequent offense. That means you are making such offense again and again. That is the duty of the breeder of protected variety. Breeder shall, in all circumstances, provide the correct yield performance under the given circumstances. We should ensure that the denomination of protected variety confirms the description of protected variety. So this care has to be taken by the breeder. Then who can apply for the registration? Any person claiming as a breeder of variety, he can apply for the variety registration. Or any successor of the breeder, he can apply. Or as it is a legal issue, all this IPR, they are governed under the law. So sometimes it is better to give this law to the patent agents or lawyers. In that case, any person is assigned by the breeder of the variety with respect of the right to make such an application. then any farmer or group of farmers they can apply, or community of farmers claiming that they are the rid of the variety. Then any person who is authorized to make application on behalf of farmers, any institution like a university or public funded agriculture institution, when they claim to the rid of the variety.
Funds breeders or the breeders. Yes, in funds for the breeders.
Funds for the
Breeders.
that means for registration, funds should be given to breeder. That provision is not there.
What is the breeder? What is a breeder?
Breeder is the person who develop the variety.
Developing funds.
Yes. So, breeder means we will be engaged with some institution, some private company, private company, or some agriculture institutions. So that institution they have to use the funds. Or breeder with his own funds he can develop the variety and he can register.
Whether ICAR making any funds. Yes, ICAR. Making any funds for the research and scholars. Research students are the farmers to develop new variety. ICAR.
ICR as such, I don't think they use the funds. But if you put some proposal, our own proposal or some proposal in the name of some NGO or some institution, and to the government under the DPDC, district planning, district committee also, they can do the funds. If you convince that this is the variety, this is material like that, and we need to develop this variety, they can do it.
The ICMR is this, Indian Council for Medical Research.
Yes.
They will release the funds for
For the
medical research.
medical research. Yes, I say also give funds for but they give it to the institution. IPR they have the network all over the country. They give the this network centers. There they have research station. They have their education institutions like CPA is there, IR is there. They give this. Then ICR gives the funds to the state agriculture university. We have more than 14 projects. All we have coordinated the research project. They are all based on 75-25 basis. 75% funds come from the ICR, 25% funds from the state government. Like that, they give the fund.
In case of the second last point, who will be the beneficiary?
Any person authorized to make application on behalf of farmers. Farmers will make this.
So in general case, assignee and innovator, assignee always get the royalty, not innovator. Who applicant gets the royalty.
Assignee will not get the person who is assigned. No. So if you assign
Applicant gets the benefit.
applicant will not get it. The person who is the person in the name of which person who variety is registered, you get the benefit.
In our case, we are not. For example, DBAT2 is the applicant.
Okay.
Another professor are the innovators. DBAT2 will get the royalties.
Now this question you are discussing within the institution. That is
आम्हाकडे पैसे पण आहेत त्याने ते ब्रीड डेव्हलप पण केली त्याला माहिती नाही तो इतका शिकलेला नाही की तो अप्लाय करेल
yes.
मग एनी पर्सन अप्लाइज टू मेक अप्लिकेशन ऑन बिहाफ ऑफ फार्मर ह्या केसमध्ये कोण बेनिफिशियरी कारण की आतापर्यंत आम्ही जे लेक्चर ऐकले ह्या दोघी त्या केसमध्ये जो अप्लिकंट असतो तो बेनिफिशियरी
If applicant is also bidder, you will get the benefit. If applicant is not bidder, if applicant is only a facilitator. In our
ते
case,
कसं डिफरंट आहे अप्लाय करताना कसं काय अप्लिकंट आणि इनोव्हेटर
yes, I'm
लिगलचं नाव काय तसे फॉर एक्झाम्पल मी इन्व्हेस्टिंग केलं मी तेवढं देखील काढू तुम्हाला मी अप्लिकेंट म्हणून असाइन केलं की माझ्या बिहॉफसाठी डॉक्युमेंट तयार करा आणि प्लीज अप्लाय करा
ते वेगळं
sir, we will put application. application is the application that we see the application. How to see the application. And suppose we as a Dr. Bala Sound of the Mission Therapy, we register the variety, farmers variety. So just we facilitate. We have PPR virus center, and to that center we facilitate farmer to register their varieties. So variety is registered in the name of farmer, certificate is in the name of farmer.
दोन्ही पण तो असतो दोन्ही पण तो असतो
नाही दोन्ही नाही ऍक्च्युली आम्ही शेतकऱ्यांच्यावर माहिती घेतो आणि ते ऍप्लिकेशन पीपीएफ पाठवतो पीपीएफ कडून डायरेक्टली त्या शेतकऱ्याच्या नावावर सर्टिफिकेट तेवढंच ते काय येते त्यामुळे बेनिफिट हा शेतकऱ्याला तेवढं Then the office, this is the office of the PPFR, registrar PPFR authority in Delhi, location in the then application form. Application form 1 is for the registration of new variety except for the farmer variety. Application form 2 it is for the ECSL development, ECSL derived varieties. And there is a technical question attached with the form 1 and form 2. That means the detailed information of a particular variety. Then this file application must be accompanied with the registration fee as per the prescribed rules, and the application form charges are excluded. Then the guidelines for the submission of application. Every application must be submitted in triplicate and signed by the applicant or their representative. Application should be submitted in hard copy along with all PCSA requirements by hand by post. Application will be received on Monday to Friday in no holidays. No application will be accepted on the Saturday or Sunday. So these are the guidelines for the application. Every application must have the name of applicant, their address, nationally, as well as the address of the service of their agent. Until otherwise notified in the plant variety journal India, each application is accompanied with application charges of 200 and given draft should be done in the application. Office of the registrar will issue an acknowledgement to the receipt number which will be on checking the status of the application. What is the page of application? Then application will be received as the first come first serve basis. This first come first serve basis, though it is looks simple, but it has the importance as the considered priority. Because every IPR, patents or designs, trademarks, every IPR there is priority. If you submit application on today 26 for my IPR, if my application on 27. And for the same technology or similarly, you will have to priority. Priority is very important. Then this for the registration. Then these are the essential derived variety individual, educational, commercial. Then external variety notified 1000 new variety. Again is 5000, 7000, 10,000. External variety about which there is common knowledge is little less 2000, 3000, 5000. And farmers variety there is no anything. This is a fee structure. Relatively, fee structure for variety is cheaper than the other forms. Then the dust testing. Dust testing fee for the this wheat rice based on the permanent division fee is for 20,000. Or is it for also it is 20,000. Black because small and 25,000. That is for PNL on the long duration crop it is more. First, and you know, 9 30,000, potato 48,000, tomato result of that is 40,000. So these are the dust specific. These are the crops protected. About 51 crops. Then on-site testing. There is one more provision that sometimes application can request to the authority for the on-site testing, and these which is prescribed for the on-site testing will be about 4 times than the normal mix. So the on-site testing facility is also there, but he is charged here. There is special test. Sometimes when the dust testing is conducted and it is fails to establish the requirement of visiting units, that case applicant can request the authority to conduct this special test. When such special test is conducted, it will not be under the field, it will be laboratory test, and the authority will charge separate fee for the for such special test. This is a brief procedure of the overall procedure of the registration. In subsequent slide, we will see detail. This is a at a glance we can see. There is development of dust guidelines. There is the first case. It will be done by the PPF authority, and they will gather notification. Right? Application by the builder. Once application is made by the builder, the payment and registration orders will be paid. Then, if the application is accepted, if it is rejected, then there is no issue. But if it is accepted, then the application will be considered for the internal scrutiny. Then, after the scrutiny, this dust test will be conducted. Then, if dust test is accepted, then they will ask for to deposit the seed in the national gene bank. Then, after that, this this dust test is conducted for the variety two results, two locations as per the previous discussion. Then analysis of dust data. This dust data will be published in the plant variety journal or pre-grant operation. That means when if this dust data is published, in that case, for as per the PPO point of view, that application is accepted. That means that particular variety it follows or it satisfies the dust criteria. And when this dust characteristic data is finalized, it will be published for the pre-grant operation. Sometimes, if somebody has filed for some variety and that variety belongs to the some other person, in that case, that person he can claim the position to know this is wrong, and this material or biology innovation is wrong, or some other results, or he can find the position. And in hence, there is a opposition is filed pre-grant or post-grant also. In that case, there will be hearing. As you know that this registrar or the registrar or the these officers in various IPR, they have the powers like court of law. So there will be hearing on the both sides. If opposition is accepted, then variety registration will be rejected normally, and if objection is rejected, then their application remains in process. Then the acceptance of the rejection of the novelty and the criteria. Finally, it is published in the PPO journal that the certificate will be issued to that particular person. And after the certificate is issued, then they will call for the benefit sharing. Benefit sharing from the concerned persons who have claimed that they are the innovators or the builder of the variety, and the marketing of the variety, marketing of the list of variety, and annual fee. If the variety is registered, the period is for 50 days. But even then, we have to be paid. We have to pay the annual fees and to keep the registration alive. Then there is compulsory licensing, which is there. The surrender of recognition, surrender of revocation of registration. We can cancel the registration. The revocation is cancelled. So this is the outline of the registration.
This benefit sharing, I think, is the 100% beneficiary. The registered person is 100% beneficiary.
Yes.
This benefit benefit sharing?
Benefit sharing, we will come to that point. The detailed information there in the presentation. But in benefit sharing, there will be more than one stakeholder. In that case, benefit has to be shared by more than one person, more than one entity. Sometimes, suppose some variety is there, our industry we have developed variety, but that project is with ICR collaboration. So that ICR will be one of the benefits. Then, if that seed material or some biological origin that we have created from some farmer or some other, so he will get this. That benefit sharing can be there can be more than one person or more than one institution. That was outlined in the detailed procedure. Submission of application and technical questionnaire to the authority. The initial scrutiny, the receipt of acknowledgement, acceptance of rendition of information, addressment of applications in Gazette of India. Then initiation of objection of objective within 3 months. Of question with respect to within 3 months. The copy of operation notice referred to the registrar in the link. Order shipment by the application within 3 months. That means once this in earlier step we saw that case when the application is published in the plant management journal, there is opposition. So when there is opposition, immediately they cannot decide. They will be 3 months period. Suppose you have developed, you have applied for the variety. I have put opposition. Then variety will say that see this is such and such person, they have given opposition. You give your say within prescribed times. Sometimes you will 1 month, sometimes you will or 1 to 3 months. Then your say will be recorded. Then they will again ask me that you have applied, you have put a submit application, but this is the say you have there. But you give yours again. Then they will begin it. Then the counter statement by the applicant within 3 months. The registrar refer copy of counter statement of operation. That's what I just said. Then registrar will hear both the parties. After considering the evidences, the registrar may uphold or reject an application. Then conduct further test. If it is found that it is distinct, uniform, stable, you issue relationship. Then application will publish the content of certificate and invite for the benefit sharing. Then on receiving of the claims authority, then send a copy of claims to the reader of register writing. That means sometimes we now writing register and the authority they have asked for the benefit sharing applications. The benefit sharing application is received by some other person. In that case, if you have an authority, they will give the data or information to the reader. These are the persons, these are the entities they have submitted for the benefit sharing. What is your opinion? And in that case, if reader found that such and such person he is not entitled to get the benefit, that case reader can make a question. The bidder may submit his opposition, notice of opposition within 3 months. Then evidence by both the parties will be considered by the authority by disposing any claim of the benefit sharing. And if claims found to be genuine, the bidder has to deposit the amount of the benefit sharing. So these are the this is the procedure. The cost of the registration of plant variety. Then the application form charges 200 rupees. Thus, the normally it is we have seen that in some of the cases 45,000, in some cases on mango it is 30,000, or tomato all the small particular 48,000. But normally it is about 20,000. Then the annual fee it depends upon the particular variety. So it is there is notified in the official gadget. Then the registration charges, except variety, then registration certificate charges 5,000 plus test charges. So these are the cost of registration. Cost of registration, if we consider all the things, it may be at the most 78,000 maximum, maximum. And in normal case, mother now it will be around 4,000.
It does takes is the side. You still given the just like you understand case of like government is a sector of the enterprise from industry.
Justice facilities, they are created as per the potential size. So, yes, PPFR authority has given facility or given recognition for the our industry for the we have developed the justice for the nutmeg, we have developed justice for the cocoa. These two crops we have developed. As far as I know. Then these are the annual fees for the new varieties 2000 plus 0.2% of sales value. Then the external varieties 2000. So once variety is registered, we have to pay the annual fees also. Now regarding the benefit sharing, once variety is registered, with post registration. Under section 26, any person or group of person are for even the governmental or non-governmental government organization, they can file the application to the authority. And actually, authority invites the applications for the benefit sharing. And on PV7 within 6 months, return back and operation within the 3 months. So, in the benefit sharing, which is there. Then the benefit sharing procedure of the community. There are two types of the benefit sharing. One is for the breeder, another is for the community. Compensation under section 21 of PPR. Any person, farmer, community, village, local body, on behalf of the village or local farming community, they can apply for the such benefit sharing. Then, unlike benefit share claims under 26, which is limited to 6 months after the publication of the in the PVJ, that is not guaranteed general. In case of the community sharing, they can apply at any time. There is no any fixed period. And the fixed percent based on the profits of the royalty is get on the potential by the registered or breeders work or the completion. So that particular point we'll see in the next determination of benefit sharing. In case of community sharing, the extent and nature of use of genetic material that claimant has claimed the development of the new variety. This is one side, and another is how this commercial. What is the commercial utility of that particular variety? What is the demand for that variety? So these two things are considered. That means how much input and how much output that variety will get, or how much benefit that variety will get. So these two things are considered. And respective centers and officers. For benefit sharing in the PPFR authority, they have identified the more than 30 to 40 institutions in India, and they have given the responsibility directly. So this that means if there is we have regional agriculture research station at Karnal. There is a rice specialist. So this rice specialist is responsible to accept the such benefit sharing applications from the farmers or any other community persons, and he has to submit to the PPFR. Likewise, they have made the first list and they have given the response. In our industry also, in case of rice, consumption is there, or in case of time or paper like that, they have notified the people centers to get the application on the benefit share. Then the two things which I just discussed, there are two ways. There are two types: benefit sharing in case of Section 26 and benefit sharing in case of Section 41. In case of Section 26, benefit sharing application has to be filed within 1 year after reputation of on the authority. In case of community sharing, it can be filed at any time during the period of protection. That means within the term of protection, one can file at any time. Right? In case of Section 26, it can be claimed by an Indian citizen or firm or company. That means the person who is claimed that he is breeder, he can apply for this benefit sharing. And in case of community sharing, can be claimed by village or local community in India or any company also. Right? Under 26, application has to be submitted to the branch office of that particular authority. And in case of Section 41, it can be filed at any center which is notified by the authority. Just I told no that if our authority have made a those release and they were given identified the different center and the such application can be submitted to the center. That means any farmer from the Raigad district, he can submit his application to the government center. So it comes under Section 41. But if any company is breeder or any if they are breeder or any agriculture they are breeder, they have to file their application to the people or officer given in Mumbai or the Delhi like that. That is their offices. Then regarding benefit sharing limit, in case of breeder, there is no limit for the benefit sharing. 100%, 90%, 80%, 70%. But in case of Section 41, the maximum limit, there are limitations or that means maximum limit for the grant of the genetic pattern must belong to the claimant, and in case of this community variety or community claims, genetic pattern, the rural community has significant contribution in evaluation of new varieties. So this is the result difference in the benefit sharing provisions under Section 20 and Section 41. Then there is a national gene fund. This is one of the facilities under the IPR authority. National gene fund has been constituted by the central government to recognize, to reward those farmers who are engaged in conservation of agriculture, land access, wildlife, economic fund, and their improvements from the selection to the preservation of the biodiversity hotspot. That means the farmers or the persons who are engaged in the conservation of agriculture to promote their work, to recognize their work, to reward their work. This national gene fund is constituted and created, and that you said that the better sir, you said that the better fund is given to the breeder. Yes. So in that case, if some individual farmer is there, individual breeder is there, he is involved in the conservation of such animals. He can get funds for that particular his work. That means for his work of conservation from the national gene.
देशी वाण हे म्हणतो केरळ जिल्हा देशी वाण कोकणातला देशी वाण दोन वेगवेगळे असतात मला माहिती नसते तर हे याला आपण कंटिन्यू करू शकतो का किंवा जर नैसर्गिक करेल तर मग त्याला कसं आपण काही नैसर्गिक करू शकतो
देशी वाणांचं कसं आहे की कुठल्याही वाणाचं पेटंट होत नाही कुठल्याही वाणाचं पेटंट होत नाही पेटंट इज टोटली डिफरंट फॉर्म ऑफ आयडिया आपण हे व्हरायटी we can register the variety under the IPR variety register or in that case another one more thing is that those varieties which are extant or which are in public domain or longer grade and which has got consumer acceptability and goodwill of the consumer and they have developed their own reputation. On such thing, we can apply for the JR, geographical indication, instead of going for the variety because we will not get the data for such variety. For the registration of plant variety, we need the data. So in that case, we can apply for the GI. Suppose our industry in collaboration or in association with other three organizations, the region, we have applied for the registration of Alfonso Mango under the GI. That is under the GI.
अल्फाचा हा 100% देश आहे त्याला काही आपण त्याच्याशी काही रिसर्च करून त्याला बनवलं नाही की तो ओरिजिनल अल्फा माहिती नाही
Actually, also that about more than 400, 300 to 400 years ago, it was brought by Portuguese. The Portuguese they brought the cashew. Actually, Alfonso brought us that name is also the Alfonso.
Given the name of the variety, it was something actually there in the like this. It was been just like the
and त्यातले काही ओरिजिनल ट्रीज इथून हा पुढे ती व्हरायटी तयार झाली त्या 3000 सिल्वर एक्सपेक्टेशन आहे आपण तसं याचं जी आहे आपण वेगवेगळ्या कॅशचं जे आहे रत्नागिरी सिंधुदुर्ग फोकस जे आहे त्याप्रमाणे म्हणजे गेल्या वर्षी आपण अलिबाग व्हाईट तो पटायला त्याचं जे आहे घेतलं आता त्यामध्ये सुद्धा कसं आहे त्याप्रमाणे ऍप्लिकेशन केलं आम्ही त्याचा कांद्यामध्ये सगळे कॅरेक्टरिस्टिक्स वगैरे सगळं सायंटिफिक न्यूट्रिएंट कॉम्पोजिशन सगळं डेटा तयार केला आणि तो जीआयच्या रजिस्ट्रीकडे पाठवले सबमिट क्लॅरिफिकेशन परंतु युनिव्हर्सिटी नॉट व्हेरी सोसायटी ज्यांच्या नावानं ते रजिस्टर केले तर ते आम्ही वेगळे
generated new variety of convention.
Yes, we have released that in the new varieties.
How much fund can you provide? What criteria?
How much?
How much fund will you need? Maximum will
For which purpose?
for the gene fund.
Gene fund. Okay. National Gene Fund. Actually, that fund it will depend upon the. Actually, if you say the inflow of the inflow means from where the fund comes to the national gene, the compensation of the amount deposited, then contribution from the national international organization, the annual fee which has to be paid by the bidders or the claimants that variety, and the benefit sharing amount deposited. So these are the sources, the funds which comes to the paper. And outflow is reimbursement to the benefit sharing here, the reimbursement to the compensation and support conservation. So that support conservation under that they give the funds to the farmers. Then these are the gene banks, national gene bank for conservation of seeds of the registered varieties or the zonified crop varieties. There are some locations where the gene banks are created. That means for a particular crop, that gene has to be conserved in live cells. We have a live repository at Kabul. That is for the total Western Ghats, western part of India, or there is a region for which we are considered for that particular thing. And these five repositories for the mango, ginger, small cardamom, citrus, turmeric, coconut, and banana. So these are the crops under the Sapori University. Then there is the Mixed Agriculture University in Ranchi, Jharkhand. They have this mango, citrus, guava, banana. By Parmar Horticulture University, uh, Himachal Pradesh, Solar, apple, peach, plum, pear, walnut. Then there is Central Arid Soil Institute at those two. Is for agricultural basic order, exhaust basic so these are the subset of where the national gene banks now being maintained or the live repository is maintained. So this is for the this address on the communication.
Any strategy in any
हा हे जे क्रॉप्स एका वर्षामध्ये जास्त वर्ष लागतात त्यासाठी आहे तिथं तर लाईव्ह रिपोजिटरी फॉर एक्झाम्पल मँगो जिंजर कोकोनट then there is a compulsory licensing system. This compulsory licensing system is very essential thing. If seed of protected variety are not available for 3 years of registration in adequate quantity or at reasonable price, then authority can grant a license to the third party. So this provision is also there in case of patent also. In case of patent also, if there is innovation and if this patent is not worth 3 years or just 3 years, or if it is sold, if that product is sold at very high price, in that case, they can grant the purpose license. And that is the one and only reason, that is one of the, not only, but that is one of the major reasons because of which medicine prices in India are low. Because of this compulsory license. Then this, once we give the compulsory license, it can undertake the production, or it can distribute the seeds, and the sale of the seed can be delivered by part. Right. But generally, what happens whenever such application is issued, authority they immediately they person or they contact to the breeder that see such person they have filed the compulsory license and give the Christmas period to you collaborate or you make an agreement between you and you come to us. Then if something doesn't happen, in that case, they will be hearing and if it is accepted, then directly with the government authority, they can give the compulsory license to the person who has made a. Then one more area where this plant variety is related with there is the biodiversity. Because whenever we develop variety, we need some source of biological origin. So that certification, that approval is actually obtained from the biodiversity Act. So these are the biodiversity major areas in the area. Himalayas and the Sundarban Western Ghats. There are about 18 biodiversity hotspots in the world. Out of that, two are there in the India. One is North Western Ghats and the other is Northwest States. Then this is the Convention on Biodiversity. This convention is founded on the principle that the local communities they generate and they are dependent on the biodiversity, so that they should get or they should get the benefit or they should be continue to get the benefit from it. So for that purpose, this convention on biodiversity has been there. And more than 170 countries there. India is the signatory country of this CBD, Convention on Biodiversity. These are the biodiversity, as per the Biodiversity Act, these are various provisions. Then there is a what is the biodiversity by the legislation. Then commercial license. So this is structure. Structure, there are three structure. At top there is NBA, National Biodiversity Authority. At middle level there is SBP, State Biodiversity Boards. And the down level there is a Biodiversity Management Committee, monitoring committee. So the NBA actually request access the application from foreign individuals, and they can transfer the results to the research for research on the SBB, that is State Biology Board, helps or facilitate for the Indian agents for the human resources. And they provide the Indian University use of the biology. And for the BMC, their body, it helps to the local state government and the population to the government. So this is that. Like NPA, it is there are chairperson, then ex-officer members and non-officer 5 members. So 15 members body is there. Professor Anil Gantapurde, he is a chairperson of this MBA, and his term is up to 7th August 2020. There are 10 members in this structure. Agriculture research, biotechnology, medicine, homeopathy, science technology, science and industry research, agriculture and population chemistry, ocean development chemistry, environment policy. These are the 8 faculty members. The non-official members, these are the different specialists or scientists having special knowledge or experience in various fields, like conservation, biodiversity, and the industry or the conservators or creators of such biological resources. Then the sustainable use of biological resources. The persons who are working in such area, from that area also members are selected. These are the non-official members. Then functions of the MBA. So this we have seen earlier. This MBA can advise to the central government on the matters related to conservation of biodiversity, components, or equitable sharing of the benefits arising out of the biological. So this is the advisory body. As a technical advisors, they work on the government. In MBA, on behalf of the government of India, they can take any such measure. They can oppose grant of intellectual property rights in any country outside India. That is the responsibility of the MBA. If some biological material is taken or it is collected from India, and that variety is registered in some other country, in that case, MBA has to take action, or that is their duty. And this state biodiversity board, actually, this state biodiversity board, they work for the Indian national. The on every respective state, there is a state biodiversity board. For Indian territories, there is NPA, it acts as a state biodiversity board. There is and board consists generally is 11 members, 10%. IU takes officio and IU members from 8%. As like NBA, SBB has similar actions, similar work. That is, one is advice to the government, relating to conservation, biodiversity, sustainable use. Then, second is regulating the granting proposals. That means for every variety which is to be registered under the IPR and brittle variety, we need the biodiversity consent. Indian biodiversity approval. That we have to declare from which biological origin that variety or that particular genetic material we are using. That is
the correction is English chairman. The technical things.
Yes. So one more previous.
this one. I didn't know this.
Yes.
Ready?
Entire Indian forest.
The English website available.
Biodiversity.
Is it?
Yes, technical. IIT, what is the professor?
थोड़ा सा आगे कुछ करवाना चाहते हैं? कुछ करते हैं कौन? नहीं.
धोनी बड़ी बड़ी है इसके बाद
Okay, thank you. But when I Googled, I got this there, and they also mentioned basically up to several dollars.
FDA is different.
This is the National Biodiversity Award.
Yes.
Then I think this may be wrong.
Ready, sir.
Ready is there.
Yes.
Okay, good. Thank you. So like MBA, SBA, SBB, the guidance to the government, regular to the granting approval. Then this is the biodiversity management committee. They have similar functions at lower level. Then these are the some definition. Then it's a NIVA protocol. Like every IPR, there are some conventions, some understanding, some committee meeting, some. So this NIVA protocol is the supplementary agreement of the Convention on Biodiversity. These are the abbreviations which are used. Then the provision for protection of variety of biodiversity. The procedure for the obtaining plant variety registration is same for Indian citizen and foreigner. Only thing is that the fund applicant has to furnish the address of service in India while applying the registration. These are some of the varieties which we have registered on the PPF authorities. 7, 2, 3, 4, 5, other 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 4, 9, 4, 24. Then finger like apples. So these are some of the varieties which is we have facilitated for the farmers to register their variety. This is a brinjal variety, Kasara Wangi, name of the variety there. And the name of the farmer is Anil Savaji Sawan. We got lot of Sawan. So on this on their name, we have facilitated this variety. We have facilitated around 30 to 35 nations and pipeline. And right now, 12 varieties we have protected. So this is the registration certificate. The registration certificate of there is a group of farmers in Savaji Saman, the Rola, Zodu Saman, like that. Their names are in the certificate. This is a paddy variety. Mundula, this is the local name. Diana Kawai Sogule from the Rajapur. This is the certificate of that variety. So this is the Sharbat Bunch, the Diana Kawai Sogule from the government body of Nike. Actually, right now, these farmers, they may not realize their importance, but as this commercialization will be get effective way, then they will get benefit. This certificate of award work. So these are some of the varieties which we have registered. There are more than this, but for example, we have presented some. Like Okra, Lal Bindi, Amit Digambar, Musgawar, then Paddy, Panchiniya, Sati, Navajo Summit, Sarvatman, then Persuram, Lambe, Sarvat, then Taichi, Balakrishna, Anu, Gaur, then the Paddy Bombay, the Taram, Yellow. So on the farmers, we have raised this varieties. Then for the IPR registration, we have made there is a IPR committee at university level, and for each form of IPR, there are all specific committees of university. That is, for patent, there is one committee. For industrial designs, there is another committee. Industrial design committee is the this one chairman is facilitating for the agriculture engineering. Then the plant varieties, for plant varieties, head of department body is chairman. Another, so that likewise, patents, designs, trademarks, copyright, GI, for all such form of idea, we have read the all specific subcommittees, and above that there is one university level committee. Then again, this registration of them, registration or the conducting the procedure of registration in the public institutions is little different. That means, if the private firm is there, they can get the services from the any agent and they can handle it. For industry, we have to get the quotations. For getting service, this quotation is sometimes it is difficult. So for that purpose, there is one DST, Department of Science and Technology and ITR. There is some type some bodies there under DST, a government body, and they made announcement that we want to give rate for that. So they have decided kind of patent agents or IPR institutions at the working process. While there are 12 firms. Out of that, 10 firms we have to consider, and from that firms we apply our plans. This is about the
Right.
yes.
AI based.
Uh, Actually, I cannot recall it right now. Typec, but it is the body under the DSP. And this Typec itself, is, you know.
TIPEC is Technology, Innovation, Forecasting and Assessment
Oh,
Officer.
very
This office is in IT Delhi. If anybody has visited IT Delhi, IT Delhi's main gate is towards this podcast. But there is a backside gate, New Narrowly Road. DSP office is also on Narrowly Road. So this side gate, there is IT Delhi's management department. So within the management department, there is type of office. When this was constituted earlier, some 20 years back, initially they used to make DPRs for new technologies. Suppose somebody wanted to set up a shop level ice cream machine, because ice creams were earlier made in large industry. So they used to give a DPR where suppliers, their costs, everything used to be there in the project report. So when I was in engineering, we used to IPR saying I want to set up a small business, they would sell me a DPR. Okay. But later their goal has transformed. Now they are advising various science-related ministries. In government, I think there are 7 science-related ministries: MNRE, Ministry of Environment Forest, Ministry of Earth Sciences, DST, DBT. So for these science ministries, TIPEC is supposed to advise them based on search of patents and everything. What are the upcoming technologies? How will they be related to the Indian market? So TIPEC is a single office, it's an identity.
They are responsible office to make this identity. Thank you. Thank you for patient listening.
Actually, my question is not about the topic, sir. Actually, as you are expert, we tell you that reading everybody is hybrid only. So, as you are expert, sir, I was whether it is having the same content of hybrid, same content of energy as that of agriculture. Nowadays, all we are taking the hybrid. मुर्गी को अंडा फटाफट देने के लिए नाम देके और उसका वजन बढ़ाने के लिए भी नाम। अभी थोड़ी देर पहले व्हाट्सएप में देखे हैं एक वेजिटेबल को उसका वजन बढ़ाने के लिए कुछ इंजेक्ट करते हैं। ये क्या है और कैसा चल रहा है?
You see the development of the crop as it develops, its nutrition composition changes. That some lab lessons, some gene migration, some quantity will be there, and some proteins converted, some quantity. So as it changes, the composition also changes.
चार हायब्रिड भेंडी आहे चार प्रकार हायब्रिडचे त्याची बेस कसं किंवा गव्हर्नमेंट का नाही सर्क्युलेट करत किंवा ते कारण त्याचे जास्त सप्लिमेंट्स असू शकतात कंपॅरेटिव्हली अदर हायब्रिड कारण आपल्याला पॉप्युलेशन खूप जास्त आहे आपल्याकडे प्रोडक्शन पण पाहिजे तर मग ते चार हायब्रिडचे प्रकारामध्ये जो बेस्ट आहे तो सर्क्युलेट का नाही हे आमच्या सपोज विदर्भात वेगळा असेल कोकणात वेगळा भेंडी असेल मराठवाड्यात वेगळी भेंडी असेल पण त्याचे न्यूट्रिशन काही वेगवेगळे असू शकते यातल्या त्यात जी बेस्ट आहे ती मग आपण रेकमेंड का नाही करत युनिव्हर्सिटी म्हणा किंवा ऍग्रिकल्चर डिपार्टमेंट
करतात
पण मग जे
त्यामध्ये आहे ना स्टेट व्हरायटी रिलीज कमिटी असतात आणि स्टेट व्हरायटी रिलीज कमिटीमध्ये महाराष्ट्रातल्या वेगवेगळ्या ICR इन्स्टिट्यूट त्याचबरोबर सेकंडरी युनिव्हर्सिटीज किंवा इव्हन प्रायव्हेट कंपनीज तर त्या सगळ्यांच्या ज्या व्हरायटीज येतात त्या व्हरायटीज वेगवेगळ्या फोरममधून म्हणजे इन आवर युनिव्हर्सिटी वी हॅव सिस्टम ऑफ research PRC
is top level production specific open million product in
आणि तुम्ही थोडं बेस्ट जे आहे स्टेट कमिटी जी आहे स्टेट व्हरायटी महाराष्ट्र स्टेट व्हरायटी कमिटी ही कमिटी त्या व्हरायटी रिलीज करते आणि समटाईम्स ती कधी कोकण विभागासाठी केली असते कधी एंटर महाराष्ट्रासाठी केली असते कधी फक्त विदर्भासाठी केली असते
कोणीही शेतकरी असताना
आता समजा ती व्हरायटी आहे ना आपण जर ट्रायल घेतले त्या मल्टिप्लिकेशन कोणत्या एरियामध्ये घेतलं तर आपण ती व्हरायटी विदर्भात देऊ शकणार आहे परंतु त्या मल्टिप्लिकेशन लोकेशन सगळ्या ठिकाणी घेतलेले आहे सगळ्या ठिकाणी परफॉर्मन्स आपल्याला आढळलेला आहे आपण ते त्या ठिकाणी देऊ शकतो सबके जीके यूज वॉज इंटरनेशनल
त्याच्यासाठी काही रेग्युलेशन्स नाही आहेत का
जाहिरात नाही पाहिजे जे हार्मफुलच आहे तर ते अलाउड नाही करायला किंवा
क्वालिटी कंट्रोल डायरेक्टर आहे डायरेक्टर क्वालिटी कंट्रोल आहे आणि म्हणजे थोडे स्पेशल त्याच्याकडे मालूम आहे ते हे सगळे प्रकार जे होतात त्यासाठी आहे
AIS also Bureau of Indian Standards त्याचं सुद्धा हे आहे मॉनिटरिंग कंट्रोलिंग नाही काय स्पेशल असे आहे काय तुम्ही लोकल लेवलवर प्रोडक्शन आहे आणि त्याचं लोकल लेवलवर ऍड असतात वाईड स्प्रेड होतो तर पर्पजली तो पर्पजली गव्हर्नमेंट
तुम्ही किती योगा केला Cancer, no.
So आपण खूप हेल्थ कॉन्शियस चालत राहिलं पाहिजे.
We have seen this for commercial purpose, some farmers they are vegetable in the drainage water. Drainage water.
There is a separate trench on कुठे पंजाबमध्ये म्हणून
ते माहिती पण पंजाबमध्ये एक फील्ड आहे स्पेशल रिसर्च कॅन्सर पेशंट
पण हा बटाटा ते जो भेटते ते
कॅन्सर ट्रीटमेंट फेमस आहे.
त्यामुळे आपण आज काय घरात किती घरात ते पण ठरवलं पाहिजे.
आपण ते करू शकत नाही. ते बियॉन्ड लिमिट घेते काम करतो बट
भारत सध्या
एरिया ऑफ वर्क पर यू
पण मग तिसरा एक अपॉर्च्युनिटी आहे फार्मरसाठी. तिसरा एक एरिया आहे. आता असं आहे की तो एक वर्क तयार झालेला आहे. That class of people is already there. That we can pay some higher prices and for get oriented. So with all traceability, we can prepare some products and we can sell. This is the crop. This is the variety. This is practical practices. This is the landlord of this variety. Like that.
राईट सर म्हणजे बाय डिफॉल्ट आहे योगा करा उपवास पकडा.
Yes,
Question is, I'm from Andhra Pradesh. I'm from the Godavari district, which are known for paddy cultivation. There are paddy varieties which are pre-green revolution. But for the past 50-60 years, those varieties have never been cultivated. So today, with health concern, there is renewed interest in cultivating those varieties.
Yes.
So although many varieties are known in language, if you can name all the old varieties, very few people can actually recognize them. And only one or two varieties have somehow been sourced and people are trying to cultivate them. So first question is, you have mentioned some gene bank and other places where genetic material is being preserved. So what are the places in India where one can find these pre-green revolution variety seeds which can actually be again grown into crops? First question. Second question, after trying these old varieties in these green revolution soils that have been repeatedly applied with pesticides, fertilizers, and now water increase salinity, they are not giving the productivity that was recorded earlier. Definitely their productivity is far less compared to green revolution seeds. So, in your knowledge, are there places where they have again returned the soils to their original fertility so that these heirloom varieties give their original productivity? I mean, is there an SOP developed for returning the soils which are polluted due to green revolution back to their original productivity?
The first question related to this one.
Pre-green revolution varieties for paddy.
Right. So, in that case, in I don't know about this, but in Maharashtra, we have recently National Genome Project, National Genome Project. So, under that project, land races, which are the farmers, which are that we are collecting and we are preserving. And especially in case of millets, various variety. And actually, in our country level also, there can be various provisions that fund can be obtained from the government, and that work for preservation work can be done.
I was asking I want seeds where can I find? I'm asking a simple farmer. I want pre-industrial, pre-revolution seeds. Where can I find them? I want to raise them, get to produce and consume and sell.
So, do you want to play?
If मला कुठे
They have been grown by someone, and maintained by someone, then only it is possible.
नाही सर आता तुम्ही जेन बँक म्हणता
Yes.
त्याच्यामध्ये ते नाही ते सगळे ओरिजिनल वाहन जुने वाहन
जुने मार्ग आहेत ना
त्याच्यातून आम्ही ते घेऊन आम्ही ग्रो करू शकतो
we can
गावामध्ये मी काय असे जो स्वतःसाठी मार्केटिंग करायचे घरात पिक्चर करते
असे ते
some of the varieties we can get from the national gene fund, gene bank in the area, and maybe some varieties we can get from the local farmers. I 2 months back I visited one farmer in Jawaharlal.
की विद्यापीठाने नसतं हे प्रोजेक्ट नावा
प्रोजेक्ट म्हणून घ्या
इम्प्रूव्हमेंट आहे
प्रोजेक्ट म्हणून तुम्ही लॉन्च केलं
पाहिजे आपण पाहिजे तसं
प्रत्येक
आणि
माणूस
शेअर करून असेल भविष्यकाळ
आणि मल्टिप्लिकेशन
प्रोडक्शन पण आता हाय मी हायर वगैरे त्यांना तुम्ही हायर प्राइस दिली तिथे त्यांचे एकदा ग्रो करणे मला पण रेव्हेन्यू होईल आणि ते
गरजेचं आहे अत्यावश्यक
बरोबर
की सीताफळ डोंगरातलं खावा की दुसरीकडे यावेळेला गरज आहे बाकी सगळ्या गोष्टी सेशन्स
बरोबर okay thank you
Thank you, sir, for your informative and presentation. Now I request Dr. P.T. Local from the PhD department to offer open our year and opportunity to Dr. Rohini, sir. Thank you, sir. Now I request all participants to come forward to take a photograph with the today principal.
main purpose behind involving agricultural university resource person is that in the having four state agricultural universities in Maharashtra of the technical university. So multidisciplinary projects are welcome nowadays. So for this we have and we have already signed a MOU with the SIRS University and our university for joint activities. So yeah, all participants are please join. So multidisciplinary project करना अपेक्षित आहे नंबर जॉईंट प्रोजेक्ट करना असा अपेक्षित आहे रांग रांग मागे बराबर या सर्व या फोटो सर्व सोनाली मुलगी आहे तुमची ऑल आहे मागे मागे बरा टॉप मार्क्स सरांचं बॅनर येते ना सरांचं बॅनर दिसतंय जरा नाव आणि बॅनर थोडं ऍडजस्ट करा नाव आणि बॅनर
तर तुम्हाला आता एक्झिबिशन पाहायला येणार आहेत लोक. आणि आता डिबेट काय 10 मिनिटात मॅडम 10 मिनिटात I want आपण आता आर्टिकल डिस्कशन आहे.
After 10 minutes break, we will start our article discussion session. Dr. S.M. Jadhav sir will conduct this session, article discussion. This activity you have to perform in a group, and then today I will share Google Drive link that is here. On that link, you have to share your document. Without sharing document, article summary and the reflection journal, the attendance will not provide you sir. Please note that. Attendance is also compulsory. Today I will upload your attendance on ATAL portal. Thank you. Please note.
Now, sir.
Google Meet काय आणि बाळा याचा स्पीकर जे आहे ना त्याचा स्पीकर जो असेल माझी स्लाइड काढ ना त्याचा स्पीकर चालू पाहिजे याचा स्पीकर माहिती बदलते हो असा प्रॉब्लेम आहे स्लाइड
Recording pause करो. Pause करेंगे. Also, please ID
तुम्ही पण ना काय सर मागाशी लावलेलं का नाही लावलेलं का लावलेलं का काही नाही कारण का मी आधी सुद्धा शेअर करून गेले माहिती आता देवाईचे लावू शकता आता थांब तुझ्या देवाई जाऊ दे देवाईच बघ पेंट्रामध्ये मध्ये 26 तारीखला आर्टिकल डिस्कशन रिपोर्ट तरी काय पाहिजे
Thank you. PDF file आया होगा friends, this is the file downloaded from Aadhaar portal only, and there is a compulsory to complete this exercise on 2 research articles. So here, first of all, we'll try to understand this format as per the Annex F3 article title. So whatever article title is there, that article title we also write over there. We are having 2 titles. So 2 separate files we have to create. 2 articles there for each and every article. We have to different separate. Then journal source, journal name, volume, page numbers, year, publisher. You can include publisher also. FDP theme. So intellectual property right. Then team information. We have to categorize, classify of both participants into 3 to 4 groups. So you yourself found the group. In yourself found the others. Already found. Very good. Then you have to mention the team name. Team name you can have IPR team 1, IPR team 2, IPR FDP. So IPR name has to be there in the team. IPR FDP team, or you can have IPR. IPR now also you can discuss. This is a discussion mission only. It's not a passive. So you decide here only because you have to complete this exercise.
So maximum 4% in one team.
You can include 4, 5, 7 rooms. Because many participants are not attending the class, so you have to cover them also. Otherwise, they will not get certificate. And whoever international participant is there, I will not do certificate. And I expect very honest feedback from your end also. You start from me, criticize me. If I have committed mistakes, please bring it to notice publicly, so that next time those mistakes should not be repeated. Start from me. आणि मी पण तसाच आहे, मी सर्टिफिकेट देणार नाही. माझ्या समोर आमचे दिग्गज राहतात, स्पीकर ऑफ द युनिव्हर्सिटी, senior person. If he is not committed, I will not issue him certificate. I respect him. I respect him. So you also start criticizing me. No issue, and that is the expected. And the purpose of the FDP is your participation. That is why in the schedule itself, respected sir, they have keep every day article summary. Every day at 12 noon article summary is there. First day we miss, and first day I have just read out the abstract and conclusion. It is expected that everybody should analyze the article, and accordingly they have to prepare the article summary. And nowadays AI tools are available. Myself also use AI for article analysis. I will also give that name. And however, you should not depend on the AI. You should customize it. You should change it, because as per the plagiarism and all the act, direct use of AI is not permitted. So you can modify the analysis, you can customize that analysis may be partially complete. It may be partially. So it is incomplete analysis. So you can complete it by your environment. And so we continue this format. So team name, you can suggest now any name. Within 1 minute, names are what you suggest name. We want to be FDP IPR 1.
We want to
IPR 1 to team 1 to team 2 3.
Or you can also type D.2 FDP IPR. So you can have some open names. Geographical name D.2 IPR FDP IPR will be there. In IPR you can extend it. Maybe as in domain name, primary, secondary. Primary will be D.2 FDP IPR. You can add secondary name as some we are messaging documents that we some beach name here. You can add. Then set my idea, not purpose. You have to decide. Then we have to do the summary. So key principles practice from the article 3-4 bullets for the team, which are using. So this is the teamwork for team side. Then independent users are also is there in the summary and the format. So principle 1, object practice 1. Then principle in the paper in practice is explore. So you have to mention that, and you have to describe that particular method, that particular principle, that particular practice. Now here in this particular paper, Portugal companies are there. I think 48 companies are there. Portugal companies are there, and they have taken the data. That data is not descriptive data. That data is quantitative data. Figures are something. In the NAT, there is a quantitative analysis and there is a qualitative analysis. So quantitative analysis is there, and based on that analysis, they come up some result. And based on only Portugal companies. In those companies, startup companies are also there, and some companies are there, but they selected the companies such that the company should be thoroughly involved in research studies and launching their product, selling their product, and the good going company, good business doing company they have identified. Not only good business doing, but also those companies they are actually involved in scientific research studies. ऐसे company उन्हें चुने हैं, quoted companies, only Portugal companies. And whatever practice is there, whatever method is there. Then principal oblique practice 2, principal oblique practice 3, principal oblique practice 4. If there are one more, you can include that. If there are only 3, then include 3. Not compulsory कि 4 ही देना है, 5 ही देना है, but 3 to 5. कम से कम 3 तो दे दो. Okay. Then application of principles practices in your function individual. Now, individual member का opinion as per individual opinion. तो मान ले सर, so team का member का नाम, name of the team member. मान लो 7 लोग हैं, there are suppose 7 members. तो not necessary कि सब 7 लोगों के नाम डालो वहाँ पर. जो active है उनके डालो, जो absent है उनको कवर करो. So, name of the team member, the brief write-up on how the principles, practicals can be applied in their respective function. So, how that can be applied? You might be working on some function, some project. You might be studying some area, and or might be you are having a plan in your mind, or you are not having any plan, any current job going on, but you have this idea in your mind. बाबा ये प्रिंसिपल ये प्रैक्टिस आई कैन अप्लाई भविष्य में बहुत बड़ा फिर मारने वाला हूँ उसमें हम लोग अप्लाई कर सकते हैं यू कैन डू दैट प्लान डालना भी बड़ी बात है हम प्लान हमारा नहीं सक्सेस करें तो दूसरों को दे सकते हैं ना जैसे कि हम जैसे एक लोग रिटायर होने वाले 2-4 साल में दूसरों को बातें कर सकते हैं जैसे कर रहे हैं then team member name of the team member brief write up of the principal practice can apply in their respective member ऐसे member उनका सबका you can include then likewise continue for each team member कंपल्सरी नहीं है ज्यादा team member का ये एक्सपेक्ट है then another head sub head is the take away one brief description or explanation आपने क्या उसे किया what you gain and what your which particular thing which particular concept which particular fact which particular result you would like to take away मान लो कुछ रिजल्ट कुछ फाइंडिंग है कुछ आउटकम मुझे बहुत हाँ आई एम मेकिंग दैट तो अच्छा लगा हर साल को दूसरा कुछ अच्छा लगता है तो में से कौन लिखी so take away 2 take away 3 take away 4 minimum 3 is expected you can go for points then lastly conclusion your own conclusion you should put in your own words whole analysis I have given from AI some on customization dear friends scholarly is the tool I have used AI tool is there direct to something you can go to the browser use that tool scholarly Google will take you to that particular PPT card वाला PPT card माझी PPT आता है सर है yes नहीं इंटरैक्टिव लगता है बोला so these are the analysis of the paper done by AI one very little 5% modification I wrote that it is expected that you should change complete analysis by converting the para sentences in your own words. वो तो कर सकते हैं हम लोग. And AI might be giving the analysis say 70% or 80%, and you think that you have read that paper, but some finding, some explanation is missing, so you can add that. So this is done by this paper belongs to Aurora, difficult to me. I think Marathi person. So take Sira and the person who knows the name is something. So after का नाम नहीं लिखना चाहिए उनका पेपर है हमारा पेपर नहीं है so you should mention हमने जैसे कि पढ़ा है कि इथिक्स होते हैं ना वो अमल में आना चाहिए किसी का काम है उसका काम करो जैसे कि आई लिटरेरी जर्नलिज्म है one 2 FDPs myself and my colleague so Apu done that online FDP and she helped me a lot. She helped me in preparing my reflecting journal. Explain me see what is the reflecting journal, how the contents is there, and we jointly prepared. But he helped me a lot in preparing that that executive journal. So I must cite here. The ethics बोलो लोगों को थैंक यू करना एंड वो executive journal उनका एज इट इज आया अपलोडेड आगे वगैरह मेरा एक डेटा साइंस का एक नाम है आर्टिकल का ही था तो जर्नल किया हमने अपलोड किया है तो उसका भी एक रन में लिंक डाला प्राइवेट शेयरिंग so now we come to the point this analysis I will take the study examines the relationship between intellectual property rights IPR protection and competitiveness in academic spin-offs intellectual property rights एक प्रोटेक्शन ही दिया IPR की स्मेल से मैं पता है मैं 5 साल का हूँ algorithm use कर रहा हूँ I should take permission of so this is the protection mechanism पांडे साहब मुझे बोल सकते हैं कि राहुल जी आपने वो मेरा डायग्राम यूज किए तो बताया नहीं यहाँ पर मुझे पर एक्सपर्ट यूज है बोल सकते हो वो बोले न बोले हमारा धर्म क्या है हमारा काम क्या है फर्ज क्या है उनका परमिशन देना अब व्हाटएवर इज देयर आप हम सब पढ़ रहे हैं प्रोटेक्शन क्या है ये तो एक प्रकार का मैकेनिज्म है ये मैकेनिज्म एंड ये ड्यू टू पेटेंट्स क्या होता है कि कंपनियों में जो भी आइडिया होती है उसको पेटेंट करते हैं आफ्टर पेटेंटिंग दे कम टू लॉन्च द प्रोडक्ट कमर्शियलाइजिंग आफ्टर पेटेंट देयर इज अ लीड टाइम हियर तो लीड टाइम क्या होता है कि वो प्रोडक्ट वो खुद कंपनी लॉन्च करती है क्योंकि 15 साल का लीड टाइम होता है आई थिंक 15 इयर्स इज द टाइम ये लीड टाइम तो 15 साल तक तुम उसका कॉपी नहीं कर सकते तो 15 साल में वो कंपनी बिजनेस खुद का बढ़ा सकती है वो खुद ही पार्टनर रहेगी उसका डिजाइन उनका प्रोडक्ट मतलब आपका क्या है उसका डिजाइन चेंज नहीं कर सकते वो लीड टाइम होते हैं तो ये लीड टाइम की वजह से क्या होता है एक प्रकार का कॉम्पिटिटिव बढ़ता है 2000 साल कर रहे हैं किसी कंपनी को लॉन्च तो मुझे लगता है भाई कुछ करो बिजनेस वाला तो ये स्टडी क्या करती है कि एकेडमिक स्पिन ऑफ्स का कंपैरिजन करती है ये प्रोटेक्शन मैकेनिज्म एंड कॉम्पिटिटिवनेस का जो स्टडी करने के जो गैप्स है वो फाइंड आउट करती है कभी क्या होता है कि फॉर्मल प्रोटेक्शन ऑफ IPR कभी पोस्टर करता है कभी डिस्क्रिमिनेट करता है तो कुछ काम करता है तो ये स्टडी का काम करती है उन्होंने जो करती है So finding that the informal IPR protection mechanism such as trade secrets and lead time foster competitiveness. Informal जो IPR का प्रोटेक्शन है वो क्या करता है जैसे कि लीड टाइम में होता है वो कॉम्पिटिटिव बढ़ाता है वो कंपनी आगे जाएगी दूसरी कॉम्पिटिटिव कंपनी को लगेगा कि ये बहुत कंपनी आगे जा रही है तो जो बाद में आपने BSN बाद में अपना आइडिया इन लोगों को लगता है कि भी सुना था लोकल लोग में CDSL टेक्नोलॉजी तो उन्होंने बहुत काफी आगे जा चुके हो सो भाई ये क्या करता है कि एक तो प्रोटेक्शन मैकेनिज्म है इन्फॉर्मल मैकेनिज्म है जैसे कि ट्रेड सीक्रेट्स लीड टाइम मैंने बताया ये क्या करता है बढ़ावा देता है व्हाई फार्मर प्रोटेक्शन मैकेनिज्म्स लाइक पेटेंट्स एंड ट्रेडमार्क है आपका को ट्रेडमार्क है जी का को ट्रेडमार्क है ना फाइनेंशियल कंपनी का ट्रेडमार्क है ट्रेडिंग कंपनी का ट्रेडमार्क तो ट्रेडमार्क है लोगो है ये क्या करते हैं नेगेटिव इंपैक्ट ऑन कम्युनिटीज क्योंकि जो लोग ब्रांड नेम से brand names are having some goodwill in the mindset of customer. Apple का कौन सा है? महंगा है क्या? और एक दूसरे पर लेकिन उसके goodwill सोनी का सुपर साहब हमारे जो ये है कि हमारा टोपली बहुत है इंडिया का और सोनी का तो ये वो आता है सब तो कुछ लोग तो माइंडसेट में क्या है goodwill है इस कंपनी को बाहर ताकि उन्हें बहुत जाना वाला है हाँ तो उनके माइंड सेट कुछ भी होना है। तो ये जो है ना, ये क्या करता है कि कुछ भी नहीं भाई, लेकिन उनको बिजनेस लेके जाता है। ये जो ऐसा जो मशीन जो है ना, वो क्या करता है, ह्यूज इम्पैक्ट ऑन मार्केट। हमें घुसा दिया गया है, भले वो न हो। उन्होंने क्या किया है, पीपोस मॉडल का गाड़ी दिया है। उनके गाड़ी में जितने भी फीचर है, वो सारे फीचर मेरे सेकंड हैंड यूज फोन में है, टॉप मॉडल में। एक दो नहीं होगा। उनके पास है 25 लाख, मेरे पास है 9 लाख यूज रहा है। तो लेकिन गुडविल है, वो गाड़ियां खड़ी की, काफी गाड़ी खड़ी की। तो जो इम्पैक्ट है माइंड सेट में गुडविल है, ट्रेडमार्क के बारे में, ये जो डिस्कस करता है कॉम्पिटिटिवनेस। तो ये पेपर का थीम है ये। तो ये बाद में उसके की कॉन्सेप्ट्स है, इंटेलेक्चुअल प्रॉपर्टी ये सब पढ़ेंगे। The Institute of Petroleum उनका ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है, पोर्टुगल में होता है, बाकी पोर्टुगल है। मुझे बताया हम दिवस वर्क ये सब आईआईटी करती है। तो ऐसा करना कुछ के बाद में मैंने नंबर दिया आपको, यू कैन एंड काउंटर पॉइंट ऑफ देयर थिंग्स की कैटेगरी जाएगा। जस्ट कैटेगरी इतना है, मेथड्स या प्रिंसिपल्स लिखना है। ये जब से आए तब मुझे क्या है, अगर रिजल्ट आपको बहुत पता है क्या नहीं क्या इनको भाता है, तो इनका इंडिविजुअल को भाता है, तो इंडिविजुअल the analysis and now we will go ahead for doubts and any question regarding the format, because you have to prepare this and you have to upload this how it is created, that it will be Google article summary compulsory है and another one will take it पहले आर्टिकल समरी के बारे में जो भी सिंपल डाउट है
आता एक तुम्ही सांगितले की आम्हाला फक्त रिपोर्ट बनवून अपलोड करायचं आहे.
हो,
बाकी काही नाही, प्रेझेंटेशन वगैरे नाही.
प्रेझेंटेशन करणे आवश्यक आहे. आता काय सेशन मध्ये आर्टिकल बनवले शिक्षण येतं विचारायचं काय ऍक्च्युअली आजच पाहिजे होतं. आज इट वॉज एक्सपेक्टेड दॅट की टुडे वन प्रेझेंटेशन of the and tomorrow because we missed the Thursday session. Just we have read the that day it was missed. We expected we that day only we should come the groups with the people who you sit together like gathering, discuss with each other who are in fact happened. So photograph लेकिन कल का प्रेजेंटेशन होगा दोनों पेपर का, दोनों सारे टीम का प्रेजेंटेशन तीन रिटर्न कर सकते हैं। तो पापा मिलते ही मुझे दो पेपर करना है, ठीक है। टॉपिक दिस बट वन मोर इट इज एनी डाउट आप मुझे आर्टिकल समरी अगर मूव टू इंटरेस्ट जाना रिकॉर्डिंग में हां सर रिफ्लेक्टिव जर्नल सोडण्यावर फॉर्मॅट आहे का? सोडण्यावर रिफ्लेक्टिव जर्नलचा फॉर्मॅट आहे का? ते उपकरण मला भेटत नाही कुठे. आधी फॉर्मॅट दाखवा. अकाउंट चेंज रिफ्लेक्टिव जर्नल फॉर्मॅट ग्रुप आहे ना आम्हाला कुठे वगैरे झाला ते बरोबर दाखवतात. रिकॉर्डिंग पॉज का थोड़ा वेळासाठी. यस सर. So article summary is compulsory. For attendance is also compulsory. 80% attendance is compulsory. 100% attendance carries 20% weightage. whatever work assigned to you there, 100% attendance is अगर 80% है तो वो इलिजिबिलिटी क्राइटेरिया है without then the personal information is there इलिजिबिलिटी करना इंडिपेंडेंट है ना इंडिविजुअल साइड तो नाम आपका ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का नाम इशू का नाम एक्टिविटी का टाइटल faculty development program on strategic application emerging trades in data science अभी अभी हुआ है लास्ट वीक बस ताकि क्या क्या काम करने पड़ते हैं ऐसे लोग आते हैं क्या करते हैं कैसे data protection
Data protection will be last day of this week.
yes e-learning now detecting journal means overall reflection of the entire activity, including sessions, practical sessions, the behavior of the people over here, organizing committee, food quality, campus, your travel, whether you are received the properly or not, ये क्लास का रूल नहीं मिला घंटा भर, किसी ने बताया ना इंफॉर्मेशन कहाँ से चला है, तो ये जो भी है, you please honestly, नंबर दो हाथ जोड़ के विनती आपको कि जो एक्चुअल डेटा है, तो ये पूरा ओवरऑल हम इन अनदर वर्ड्स हम लोग बोल सकते हैं कि ये इम्पैक्ट ये जनरल है कि 2-3 पेजेस लिखना है हमें उसके बाद पहले करना है व्हाट रिफ्लेक्शन इज देयर देन अभी लर्निंग आउटकम ये आउटकम लर्निंग 1 लर्निंग 2 लर्निंग 3 दो तीन आउटकम लेना है तीन देना कंपलसरी व्हाई यू कैन राइट अंडरस्टैंडिंग द फंडामेंटल्स ऑफ इंजीनियरिंग मेरा खुद का है सो करना मैंने बनाया डेटा साइंस इंक्लूडिंग डेटा एनालिसिस मशीन लर्निंग learning to getting efficiency programming languages such as Python, then exploring advanced AI techniques to so and so. Then key lessons, concepts, ideas, or implementation. After going to my organization, so what are the concept ideas I will be implementing? Implement करने लायक क्या क्या है? So lesson 1 integrating machine learning and deep learning is no disappointment and I as per your IPR right. Then implementation plan, ideas और concept अलग बात है. लेकिन हमारा प्लान क्या है? वो आइडिया यूज करने के लिए विदाउट प्लान. So description, actual state, timeline, maybe within 1 year, within the current next coming semester, or some people they might be having very concrete plan. 3 साल का हो सकता है इसका मैं आईपीआर सेल बनाऊंगा मेरे इंस्टीट्यूट में कॉलेज में मैं सारे फैकल्टी का रिसर्च करवाऊंगा सारे फैकल्टी को आईपीआर के बारे में अवेयरनेस करूंगा इसका 3 साल का भी हो सकता है सेटिंग सेपरेट बिल्डिंग फॉर आईपीआर हां हो सकता है 3 साल का बड़ा प्लान बनेगा देन लेसन इंडस्ट्री कोलैबोरेशन फॉर आईपीआर क्योंकि जैसे देखा हमने कल वो टीसीएस के मैडम का नाम था क्या प्रोफेसर इन्होंने टीसीएस कंपनी से रौनक दुबे जी उन्होंने रिक्वेस्ट कर दिया ऑनेस्टली की ट्रैवलिंग अलाउंस आपका अनरियम सर ताकि रियली प्रॉब्लम so you might be having some plan to collaborate some industries उनके कांटेक्ट ले लो और you might be having plan भले वो प्लान एक्चुअली लो लेकिन आपके मन में तो आइडिया है कि मैं टीसीएस आईपीआर सेट के साथ मैं कोलैबोरेट करना चाहूंगा तो वो आप लिख सकते हो collaboration और आईपीआर the overall intention overall तरीका so this is just your experience about all the sessions and all so this is individual activity and they need to do first. So if there is any we can say a doubt, you can raise and try to clear it. छोटा भी है तो कोई छोटा मन में
The group सभी फाइनलाइज कर दें.
हाँ ग्रुप्स बोलो ग्रुप वन फर्स्ट ग्रुप राइट डाउन नोट डाउन मैडम नाम नहीं क्या है पूर्ण मैडम टीचर को नाम नहीं है मैडम को नाम लेके नाउ रिकॉर्डिंग कैन बी स्टॉप बेटा क्योंकि बाद में ग्रुप हाल नहीं होगा राइट सर
नहीं वर्ती क्यों वर्ती करना खाली स्क्रीन पे मिला
हां लिहून घ्या कंटिन्यू रेकॉर्डिंग आणि सर तुमको लिहून घ्या हो टाकतो पण आता जाता फॉर्म करू आपण नाव फॉर्म करू नाव